this is one of the first times where we actually are able to construct a technology that literally has all three. That's better, that's faster, and that is cheaper. And I think as time goes on, we're going to find that the distance between a connectivity experience on land at a land-based resort at your home or at your office is virtually indistinguishable from what you're going to find on a shipboard environment.
Hey everybody, I'm Bill Panoff, and today I am joined by Brent Horwitz, the Chief Commercial Officer at MTN Global. And Brent is no stranger to the cruise industry, and we are here today to talk about MTN and the role that it plays in connectivity across maritime and cruise industries. And I'm looking forward to diving into how you're supporting cruise lines and shaping the onboard experience. Brent, thanks for being here. How are you?
Great, Bill. Thanks so much for having me. It's really a pleasure to participate.
It's been a while since we actually saw one another. It's great to see you again. For those who may not fully understand the complexity of the maritime connectivity, can you give us a quick overview of MTN's role in the cruise and maritime space?
Certainly, Bill. So as a little bit of background, so MTN has really been one of the founders of satellite connectivity. MTN was founded by cruise industry executives, and it has been leading the evolution of communications at sea really for the last 4 decades. So the original innovation of the company was really to turn what was in a cost center, primarily of pay-per-use voice, into a profit center. So over the years, the company was the first to create an always-on communication solution using what we call VSAT technology, which is basically always on for a fixed price. So over the years, we were the first to innovate the first internet cafe at sea. We hosted one of the largest crew calling platforms. We were the first to offer cellular at sea in a joint venture with AT&T. We were the first to offer a multi-channel television offering. So we today act as a multi-solution provider that serves as a single source for design, deployment, monitoring, and support of a vessel's connectivity ecosystem. So over the years, we've been using geostationary satellites, which are these big, you probably remember the big 2.4 meter antennas that are under those big white radomes. So those have now been replaced with low Earth orbit satellites like Starlink and soon to be Amazon Leo and OneWeb that use these flat panel antennas. So there's really been an enormous innovation over the last couple of years, and I really want to delve into that a bit.
You know, technology in this space continues to advance very, very quickly. How does MTN stay ahead and make sure your partners are benefiting from the latest capabilities?
So Bill, this is a very interesting time because satellite communications are constantly evolving. So we're moving away from these large and expensive radomes. And as an example, a new build ship only 5 years ago would have put about $1 million worth of infrastructure on board the vessel. You know, let's say those big antennas are $250,000 each times 3 or 4, and they've been replaced by these flat panel antennas that cost only about $5,000 each. So our goal is really to deliver a multi-network architecture that includes low Earth orbit satellites, that includes geostationary satellites, that includes 5G or LTE, that includes terrestrial wireless. Our goal is to really to deliver, 99.99, the standard is to get to 5 nines, and to be able to deliver high-speed connectivity, to deliver really satisfying, connectivity experiences for passengers and for crew.
You know, reliability is also critical at sea, especially across different regions and itineraries. And how does MTN ensure consistent performance wherever a ship is sailing?
Well, so Bill, it's an interesting point. Operating on a global footprint is not easy to do. And so obviously we have some large cruise operators. We work in the expedition space with river cruises, obviously with other things like, ferries and super yachts. I mean, I think the important part is that we try to enable the customer to benefit from their economies of scale. So we come up with specific data allotments to fit the specific needs of a particular fleet. So for an example, we want to be able to connect all of the ships, the private islands, the warehouses, the office locations, all in a shared bandwidth pool. And this allows them to have, some flexibility and to be able to offer the best financial value possible.
On the guest side, connectivity has gone from being a luxury to an expectation. How does MTN help cruise lines deliver seamless onboard digital experiences?
Yeah, Bill, technology in this space really continues to advance very quickly. And a simple way to explain the trade-offs in delivering technology services is what's sometimes called the good, fast, cheap triangle, which is to say you could have some technologies that are good and fast but are not cheap, and you could have some that are cheap and fast but aren't good. So generally you could only pick 2 out of the 3. In this particular case, with this LEO revolution, which is we're at the forefront of using Starlink, Amazon LEO when that comes out, OneWeb, this is one of the first times where we actually are able to construct a technology that literally has all 3, that's better, that's faster, and that it's cheaper. And I think as time goes on, we're going to find that the distance between a connectivity experience on land at a land-based resort at your home or at your office is virtually indistinguishable from what you're going to find on a shipboard environment.
Partnerships are key in the cruise industry. Can you share how MTN works collaboratively with cruise lines to design long-term connectivity strategies?
Yes, for sure. So first of all, Bill, we've been at this game for quite a long time. So over the years, we've been able to develop, deep relationships. We have trust. We have a history of performance. We really want to be seen as an extension of the IT departments of a lot of these cruise lines. Sure. And so partly we want to really understand the customer's business goals, how to help them reach those goals. And we really see our role as to educate and to help do the heavy lifting in terms of helping them understand what's the art of the possible, having open dialogue and helping them to create a compelling vision of the future for their management to understand what can be accomplished.
Education is also very important in this space. It can be highly technical. How do you help cruise executives and decision makers better understand their connectivity options?
Yeah, so Bill, I think one of the really important parts is really having regular communication, open dialogue, not only between the commercial people, but also between engineers. I think it's really important that IT professionals understand what are the options available now, what's going to be available in the next couple of years, and to really be able to understand how to develop a compelling future together.
And looking ahead, what trends do you see shaping connectivity at sea over the next few years, for example?
So without a doubt, right now, Starlink is really the primary vendor for low Earth orbit satellites. And I think that we're going to be seeing a multi-vendor strategy that will incorporate both Starlink as well as Amazon LEO. I may have mentioned that MTN right now is one of the primary partners for Amazon LEO. So I see those technologies really working in parallel. The demand for satellite connectivity is growing enormously, and it's supposed to grow from something like $15 billion per year now to over $450 billion over the next decade. So the drive for low latency, high speed data at sea is absolutely enormous. And I think that we're also going to see some enhanced benefits for things like crew welfare. Being able to attract and retain crew requires tens of thousands of new people every single year. So I think that using these technologies is really going to become a core pillar for retention and offering the best value, if not for low cost, if not no cost communications for crew members.
I understand that MTN will be at Seatrade this year. What can attendees expect when they visit your booth?
So I think we're going to hear more about integrated next generation technologies. We're certainly going to be talking more about Amazon LEO, which is going to be the next wave of communications, really talking about the features, the benefits, the timing. You're probably aware that there's these large television receive only antennas called TVROs that the cruise lines are very eager to get rid of. In the early phases right now of being able to stream content over starting with Starlink and to be able to eliminate these large and expensive pieces of equipment that are becoming out of date.
Brett, before we wrap up, what is one key message you'd like the cruise industry to take away about MTN?
So without a doubt, for the last several decades, MTN has really taken the partnership approach. We're really playing a long game. We're doing the heavy lifting and bringing the new technologies necessary to improving the onboard connectivity experience. That we really see as our primary mandate, and that's not going to change. So I think we're not really about selling bandwidth. We're really about a world-class network operator that enables operational efficiencies, improves safety, and really helps to unlock the guest potential on a global scale.
Brent, what a pleasure interviewing you, and continued success, and look forward to seeing you and MTN at Seatrade. You're watching Porthole Cruise and Travel. Thanks so much, Brent.